And for more on this story, let's go to Alex Cobham from the Research Director for the Tax Justice Network. He joins me now live from London. Thank you very much for your time there, Alex. Now, let's just clarify what David Cameron has done, or perhaps didn't do. It wasn't illegal, so to speak, was it?
No, certainly not. He seems to have held some shares in the trust set up by his father, and then sold them before becoming Prime Minister, and paid the tax on them. The problem for David Cameron here is twofold. First, that this reminds everyone, that his father's business was largely involved in offshore avoidance. And secondly, this question of why he didn't immediately reveal this, why it was never, for example, in his register of interest as a member of Parliament, and why it's taken him so many, 4 different attempts now at making a statement before finally admitting this story. It's that piece that looks bad, actually, rather than any suggestion of illegality.
Either way, I suppose it's not doing him any favours. And for you, is the issue they've exposed the real scandal here, the legality of so many people's conduct in using tax havens? Or is it more about questions over the legitimacy of the cash they seek to protect overseas?
That's a good question. Look, in a sense, what's been revealed in the Panama Papers is not a surprise to anyone who's worked in this area, but there's a difference between being confident it's happening and actually seeing the specifics of it laid out. One thing that's been quite striking is how many cases of apparent criminality are involved, and that's everything from tax evasion through to laundering the proceeds of crime, through to acts of political conflicts of interest that are probably towards the criminal, if not actually there. At the same time, though, there's a lot of people, as David Cameron appears to be, somehow involved, but who haven't been doing anything criminal. And I think for those people, the question really is, why would I have used these secrecy vehicles, these secrecy jurisdictions, when I didn't actually need to hide anything criminal? And I suspect that will have a chilling effect on the kind of business that goes through those jurisdictions. But what we really need to see is a shift now at the global level to just say, this type of business is not acceptable anymore. There is no good reason not to know who you're doing business with. There is no good reason for anonymous companies or trusts and foundations to exist. David Cameron has an opportunity now in the anti-corruption summit that he's hosting in May to say that neither the UK nor any of the overseas territories which get a lot of mention in the Panama Papers, like the British Virgin Islands, nor any of the Crown dependencies like Jersey, will any longer tolerate anonymous companies, trusts and foundations, that they'll set up public registers so everybody can see who the owners are. And I think that's really the only way now to restore some public confidence, not just in the UK government, but globally, actually, in the way that policymakers are dealing with this problem of financial secrecy.
Yeah, certainly will be interesting to see if there is any political reform after this leak. Thank you, Alex, very much for that. That's Alex Cobham in London there.